Hey there, fans of brotherly love wrestling. It is I, Victorlicious.
Philly's own, the Mecca here.
It is the real McCoy, J.D.X. Justin D. Xavier. And
it's your man, CD, the fallen angel, Christopher Daniels.
Hello, boys and girls. This is your old friend RJ City.
Hey there, brotherly love wrestling. Bill Carr here.
Hey everyone, this is two-time guest Wheeler Yuta.
Two bozos from Philadelphia flapping their gums about pro wrestling this, pro wrestling that.
Which is not that unique in the grand scheme of things yet.
You are in for a treat because you're tuned in to Brotherly Love Wrestling.
Philadelphia, are you ready? No! He said, are you ready?
This is Brotherly Love Wrestling Podcast, your first stop for everything professional wrestling. So sit back and enjoy wrestling talk at its finest with your hosts, Larry Hall and Joe Corrado.
Welcome, everybody, to Brotherly Love Wrestling. And on our show today, we have from the NWA, BLK Jeez. Jeez, welcome to a show.
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. It's about time we got a fellow Philadelphian on.
Yes,
on the show.
Yeah.
I feel like they're fewer and far between nowadays. The Philadelphia wrestlers.
Yeah, pretty much.
It went from like a mecca of professional wrestling to kind of like dwindle to almost non-existent.
Yeah, I know. And that's crazy. You know what I mean? But, I'm still here repping Philly. I'm always going to do that, no matter where I'm at.
Yeah. So the shirt that you have on, NWA, we got a big show coming up for you tomorrow.
Yes.
Main event, Rodney Mack. So is this a first time ever matchup?
First time ever, man. First time, man. Obviously, I watched Rodney Mack on TV when I was coming up, man, and you know what I'm saying. And I know he's my opponent tomorrow, but it's an honor to get in the ring with him, man. Like he's one of those OGs that he means business. You know what I mean? He's one of those old school cats that he demands respect. You know what I'm saying? Those are the type of people that I like being in there with, where you know what I'm saying, where it's a fight, you know what I'm saying, where it's like where it's realistic as possible, That's what I gravitate towards. So, it's gonna be a good match. It's gonna be a good main event tomorrow on NWA Power.
Now, is that what you're more accustomed? Is that what you'd rather do? Just fight? Does that feel more natural than? I don't want to say. I want to use this as loosely as possible as faking it.
Here's the thing, man. My favorite style ever is old school New Japan Junior Heavyweight style, where you know what I'm saying, things don't look choreographed the way like stuff looks now. You know what I mean? It looks as realistic as possible. You know what I'm saying? That's what I gravitate towards. I'm not and it's nothing against like matches where it's a whole lot of this going on. That's cool. It works. I can do it. But when you just going out there and you portraying that character and you bringing that realism, that's better to me. It's just more natural. And I think audiences, they can get behind that more than, in my opinion, more than just a whole bunch of flips, a whole bunch of like spottiness, where sometimes the spottiness doesn't really go anywhere. But again, nothing against them. That's how cats choose to tell their story. That's cool. But I rather have like physical matches,
I'll boil it down as simply as possible. Two guys in there trying to beat the shit out of each other.
Exactly. Yep.
Well,
trying to win.
And not only that, we kind of saw that on the mainstream on last Friday night. You had Nakamura versus Gunther, aka Walter, and it looked like they were beating the hell out of each other. And it's something that you don't see on WWE product, or you haven't seen in a long time at least. And like you
don't
said,
really see it a lot of anywhere.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that lost art of like, all right, they're putting this position together where we forgot what the main goal was. It's to just win, to do it by any means necessary.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a form of entertainment. We know that, and you got to entertain the people, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Let's have some physicality in there, you know? Make people believe it, you know?
Yeah, those are those oohs and ahs moments. Like, oh,
yeah, for
when
sure.
When you hear a
Yeah,
strike,
like give me something to where like you can like where like you have people in the audience look at each other like, yo, I don't think they working together right now. I think that's for real, you know?
yeah, that's the thing that's missing. Like, I mean, as tainted as it is, the wrestling viewpoint as a whole because of social media, but I won't get into that. But like, I missed that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like that's how it was when I was a kid. Like, oh damn! And when I go to indie shows, I still get that feeling because I'm so close to the action. Normally, it's like, oh damn, and I'll do that with Larry. I'll be like, oh shit,
yes,
yeah.
It looks like it's that weird excitement and giddiness that you get.
Right. Even with promos, where like now everything is so clean. Like I like the type of promos where you step over the line a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You sort of say some stuff that people are like frowning on now, you know? Like
make people uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Yeah, ECW. ECW.
Like even though everything is so clean, it's nothing wrong with stepping over the line, saying some stuff to where people be like, "Did you really say that?" You know what I'm saying? That's the type of atmosphere I love. You know?
Here's the thing, though. Right now, it's so much easier because everybody knows everybody because everybody's on social media. So to pull a jab or sneak in like a burner, whatever, like it's so much easier because people see what's going on online. Like everybody knows. So if you want to throw jabs or whatnot and step over that line, it should be easier now. And for some reason, it's not because no one wants to.
Because
no one wants to hear it.
Right. It's because everybody is friends now. You know what I mean? Like you'll see guys, they'll wrestle each other, and then you see them on social media praising each other. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd rather be the guy that people look at like, he's kind of difficult. And that's been my reputation for years. Like people, I tell you a story, man. Like I was talking to like, I'm not going to say any names, but it's a wrestler out there that's looked at as one of the best wrestlers in the world, right? So he told me one time that he's thrown my name at promoters here and there over the years, and he was like, the one thing that always comes back is that I'm difficult, right? And I'm not. You know what I'm saying? It's just that like when you somebody in this game that speaks your mind and commands respect, that's frowned upon in wrestling. You know what I'm saying? You look out for yourself, you look out for the boys. There's a lot of promoters that don't like that. So they put a bad spin on your name. So when you walk into a room and people already look at you like he's difficult, when the camera is on and you in character or whatever, they really believe in it. And these are the boys I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So it's like going back to how like guys are friends and they cool with each other on social media, then they go out there and wrestle and you're not really believing it as much because you know they're friends. Like guys like myself, guys like Eddie Kingston, guys like so many other guys, like we go out there and we portray that character where it's like you know that at some point something could go left. It could go from just guys wrestling to something being for real. You know what I'm saying? And also when we talking promos, you already know because of our history. It's like at some point he's probably going to say something that the other person's not going to like, and it's going to get serious. You know, that's the fun about it, to really like keep people on their toes with promos and like saying some stuff that maybe you shouldn't say, but you say it anyway. You know.
Well, I think then to that point, we are our first ever guest when we first started this show was Ron Starr. He was our first guest ever, and at the long interview that we did, that
was like 3 hours.
It was very long. It was we didn't know what we were doing, but he brought your name up and talking about coming up and talking about training together, and then fast forward all the way to Pro Wrestling R when you guys were the main event for the title. I remember watching because we sat front row and watching you guys and knowing what Ron told us but watching that match and you guys were beating the hell out of each other. And in the back of my head, I'm going, man, for guys that were supposedly coming up and they like each other, they're beating the shit out of each other. And it looked great. It was so much fun to watch, so entertaining. The match was so compelling. And you could see the experience between you guys. You could see how much chemistry you guys
It's almost
have.
like a brother thing, but these
Exactly.
brothers like
Yeah.
could
Right.
you could snap on any time. Like
Yes.
it's like one of those like they're brothers and all, but they're gonna beat the hell out of each
Yes.
other.
Yeah.
Like you just feel like the mom in the background. You're like, boys, don't kill each other today.
Exactly. It goes back to like that old school mentality where like I mean you gotta have a competitive nature, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, me and Ron, we family. Like Ron was my first mentor in the game, you know. So it was like, in my view, it was like teacher versus student, you know what I mean? So it's like me, the student, has to show the teacher, Ron, that I've learned a few things over the years. Like, yeah, Ron, you taught me a lot, but in my time in the game, I've learned a lot. You know what I'm saying? I've learned my own tricks of the trade. And you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make you step your game up. You're gonna make me step my game up. And we're going to tell a compelling story to the crowd. And I think it worked out, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
It definitely did. And I don't want to shy away from the promo talk because we don't talk to a lot of people about like promo in depth and whatnot and how it goes in like eaves and flows about like throughout wrestling, like where it's important, it's like the most important part, and then it kind of shies away from it. Then you go to more of an entertainment purpose, and then you kind of get it again, and then you lose it and it comes back. Like, how do you keep promos fresh? Like, how difficult is it to keep a promo fresh? Because, I mean, I feel like if you're on TV weekly or if you're on some sort of TV network weekly, how do you keep it? Like, are you more yourself and you're just like, you're shooting from the hip? Or do you like actually have to like sit down and think about some of this shit? I'm sure it's
it's just about being creative. Like, number one, like, even outside of, even away from wrestling, I always, like, I've always been the type to talk my shit. You know what I mean? I don't know if we can curse on
yes,
that, right?
absolutely.
All right,
you're good.
All right, cool. Like, I've always been the type to talk my shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, as far as like wrestling, like when you see me, that's me. That's my personality amplified. So yeah, with TV, yeah, you do have bullet points. You know what I'm saying? NWA is a platform where we have bullet points. It's not scripted. So we're able to have that creative freedom, you know? So when I'm doing promos there or anywhere else, I don't plan anything. I might have a few ideas, but then once I start talking, I'm just going. And then I might just think of something to hit somebody with, and I just hit them with it, and they don't even know it's coming. And then like I can tell by their facial reaction that they weren't expecting it. Then I get a real reaction out of them, and they might get pissed off. They hit me with something, and we just go back and forth. You know what I'm saying? And it just comes off genuine. Like that's the art of the promo, to be able to just be creative, to be able to think just like this. You know what I'm saying? It's just like being a rapper, and you don't even have to like write things down. Things just come from up here. Like that's my mentality when it comes to the promos, and it comes from studying all the great promo guys from over the years. And also when I was in Blackout, I was in there with two great promo guys, Robbie Marino and Eddie Kingston. You know what I'm saying? So I had no choice but to learn, and like I learned the art of the promo from them. You know what I'm saying? So it just went from there and just took off.
All right, I got a two-part question follow-up. So how hard is it today to find that person that you need in the ring counter you? Like, how hard is it to find someone who's good enough to come with a quick comeback? Because if you're freestyling and you hit someone real quick, is there a lot of people that have that fast reflex to have a comeback back? Or
there's a few. One person that comes to mind right away is Darius Carter. Like he's somebody that, as far as promos, he's like this. He's like this. And like you hit him with something, he'll hit you right back. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely one. There's several people. But it's like also with being good at promos and thinking, you also have to like give people openings. You know what I mean? So
you can't just take, you got to feed.
Right. I mean, you can be selfish and eat them up, but then, you know, that's not how you do business though, you know? So you give people openings, and then sometimes they see it and they hit you back. Sometimes they don't, and you just keep it going. Like, it's just like a match. You lead the person. Sometimes if you're equals, you just give and take, you know? But you just got to make it fun and entertaining though.
So it's like improv, right?
Yeah.
But if you have practiced just growing up, because it sounds like you've been like not even just in wrestling, like you've been able to talk like your whole life. Like, you've been like a good like back and forth type person. Am I wrong in assuming that?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
So for you, it kind of comes naturally. Now, is that something you help teach? Is that something that you help younger talent with? Like, or do you step up and be like, "Yo, look,
Yeah.
this is how we should do this."
Definitely, all the time. So like now it's at a point where like the younger guys, they'll ask me about promos and stuff like that, and I give them direction. I just did a seminar last weekend at Super Crazy facility, where like not only did we go over stuff in ring, but we focused a lot on promos, you know what I'm saying, and character, and that's very important. So like that's definitely something that whenever I'm around the younger cats, I always touch on that. I always go into depth on that, because being able to be quick with it on promos, that's very important. You know what I'm saying? Like like all of us know how to wrestle. Like it's not that many more moves you're going to learn, but the most important stuff in my view is being able to talk and presenting that character. Like if you able to be like this talking wise, that opens a lot of doors, because like when you're able to talk, that can lead to so many other things. You know, even when you're not bumping anymore, having the ability to talk, that can lead to so many other things, man. It's very important to be good at it.
So is that a goal for you to, and when you're done, when you take that final bump, is that the next career path as maybe like manager, commentator, something like that, backstage person?
Yeah, I think so, because like for the longest time, I had no interest in doing anything other than being an in-ring guy. I had no interest in backstage anything, but that's changed. So like now, like what started it was seeing how Homicide's been able to adapt. Like, so with NWA, he wrestles and he's an agent. You know what I'm saying? He has a lot of responsibilities. And like Homicide is somebody that I looked up to for years. You know what I'm saying? He's somebody that mentored me. And then, you know, being able to earn his respect to where we're colleagues now, like watching how he's developed into that, that's what opened my eyes to it. So it's like now, after when I can't wrestle anymore, I definitely want to be an agent. I want to be a coach. I want to get in the commentary. All like there, I feel like there's nothing in this game that I can't do. You know what I'm saying? So, like helping the next generation, man, because like there's a lot of people that have a lot of knowledge and they refuse to like pass it on to others. I'm not going to be one of those guys. Like I want my legacy to be like similar to Homicide. You know what I'm saying? He's known for training so many people. He's known for mentoring so many people. That's how I want my legacy to be, you know? Because there's so many more jobs you can do in this game.
Not only that, but if everyone were to keep that knowledge and no one were to ever share it, wrestling would pretty much die.
Right. Exactly.
There would be no future. They'd have to figure it all out, and it would be a work in progress for like years.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good.
Yeah, and I feel like, you know what I'm saying, I've been in the game for a long time, and like over my years, like I've you know navigated through so many situations to where I have a lot of knowledge that I can pass on to these guys, because it's a lot of talented cats out there that they just need direction, and if I can help them, I'm definitely going to. You know, like there's people that they want to like go from the indies to be in companies that have a TV presence, and you know what I'm saying, like I can help them with that because I know what places are looking for. You know what I'm saying, and one thing they are looking for is people that can talk, people that can go out there and tell the audience who they are with their character, with how they talk, not necessarily with all of the moves, because you know what I mean? Like TV wrestling, it's a TV show and you're selling characters and you're selling an emotion. So you have to be able to do that, and you have to be able to be like this. You have to be able to adapt to every situation. That's what makes you stronger. That's what makes you valuable in this game.
Yeah, I think cool moves will get you some views, but it's not enough because once you see that Canadian Destroyer, Spanish Fly, some sort of tope, something or other, I mean, I think that's pretty much it. I think that's pretty much all you get, because now you want to be invested in that person. You want to be invested, like, oh, that was really cool. Let's see what they have to say. If you can't back up the cool moves, you've just become a one-hit wonder, basically.
Right. And also, like, I mean, it's a fact that, like, the men and women that made the most money in this game, are the ones that were relatable character-wise. They were able to talk. Like when they came out there, the audience gravitated towards them because of who the character was, not necessarily because of the moves. You know?
The Rock.
Yup, definitely.
The Rock got you invested because he knew how to talk. I mean, he did what, 5 or 6 moves? That's about it.
Yeah.
And 2 of them were named after him.
Yep.
3.
Yep.
So
and also, man, and also that's the fun stuff too, man. Like it's fun to go in there and wrestle, but it's also fun to like get that reaction from the crowd with just the stuff that you're saying, you know?
Dude, that's how you last, because then you get people chanting it next time they see you.
Yep.
Like you have to hope to get something to catch on, because that's the best. That's gotta be the most fulfilling, even if it's a diss. It's gotta still be fulfilling in some aspect.
It is definitely, and it's always fun. It's always fun being the bad guy, man. Like, it's real exciting when, like, especially like when you in front of a crowd that know it all, you know. So they know what they already know what's going to happen, and you able to like get into their heads. Like that's real fulfilling, you know. I love that.
That must be, especially being from Philadelphia, because as the reputation goes with Philadelphia
we got a
fans,
bad rep.
regardless of the sport, regardless of entertainment, whatever it is, Philadelphia fans seem to be and get off as knowledgeable fans. So you coming from Philadelphia, you knowing how fans can react from Philadelphia, I feel like that would give you a leg up on other fan bases, because you've wrestled around the most knowledgeable or the smartest fans that there is.
Yeah, exactly. And then also, man, I spent a lot of time in CZW in that arena. You know what I'm saying? And like I've seen guys come and go. I've seen guys come in there and you know what I mean, and they can do all of these cool things, right? But they go out there and like if a move don't go the way they want it to go, they get creamed, you know what I'm saying? Or like guys go out there and they start talking and a fan will say one thing and throw them off.
Then you get the "you fucked up" chance.
Yeah, guys are scared of that. You got to go out there. You got to go out there and embrace everything. When you go out there and if people are chanting, "Who are you?" You got to embrace it. If a fuck up happens, you got to embrace it. You know what I'm saying? The only way you'll learn is through failure. You know what I'm saying? So you got to embrace everything. Like when we get into wrestling, we sign up for all the negativity that's thrown at us. That's just how it is.
I think you have to.
Yeah, you do. You do. So like if you go online, right, and you vanity search, all of us do it. You know what I mean? Some people don't admit it, but we all do it. If you see negative things on your name, you signed up for it. You know what I'm saying? When I see it, I love it. You know what I'm saying? So
that gives you an in. Especially if you're a heel, that gives you an in. If you know what people are saying, that is a tell. Now you have time to come back with a rebuttal. You don't even have to do it off your head. You have it right there in writing. Be like, oh, this guy said this. Let me think real quick about what I can come back with. And it doesn't have to be right away. That's the beauty of it.
It is, definitely.
The unbeauty of it is when people think that the fake stuff is supposed to be real and they take it to heart. I mean, that could be enjoyable too, but the masses, when they come after you.
I love it all, man. I mean, it's like, I mean, look at what we do, man. We go out there, you know what I'm saying, and we go out there in trunks with baby oil on, you know what I'm saying, putting each other in compromising positions. You know what I'm saying? You can't take yourself too seriously, you know what I'm saying? So if people are saying all types of disrespectful stuff to you, embrace it. Like that, like there's nothing that a fan can say to me that's gonna make me crack. You know what I'm saying? Like you can say whatever you want. You pay the ticket, you can say whatever. Throw everything at me. Throw it all at me. And you know what I'm saying? And then I'ma just react to it. The funny thing is when they say some things to you, like they'll say something like, "Oh, you're a horrible wrestler," or like they say you're too short, or whatever. Gary Coleman, anything. Like when they say all of these things, right? And then you react to it like you're pissed off. Like that's what I want. You know what I'm saying? So when you react to them with something like real like disrespectful to them, they think that you're actually mad and they got to you. And I'm like, nah, bro. Like this is what I do. You know what I'm saying? Hit me with all of that. you're the one that's mad now. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's just fun for me, man. I love it. I love it all.
Well, next time that we're in the arena with you, we'll make sure to liven it up. I'll make sure to
Hell
throw.
yeah, hell
I'll
yeah.
I'll throw some good ones. Not meaning it, but I'll throw some good ones at you.
It's
And
all it's all good, man. It's all
no,
good.
I know
'Cause, like,
that's the best part because it's a stage. It's your stage. You're supposed to act.
Exactly.
You're supposed to act, and if you're doing it that well, and people are supposed to know, like, this is all an act. But grown people getting so lost in the act and thinking it's not an act anymore, that's the best. I love it.
Exactly,
I
man.
love watching that.
Mhm.
It makes me happy.
Cause like, man, like I'll see a lot of stuff on Twitter where like fans will say negative stuff about the wrestlers, and they'll get on Twitter and they expressing themselves like their feelings are hurt. I'm like, come on, you signed up for this. You signed up for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love it, man. Like, I look at it like people pay their money to be entertained. So I'm gonna give them everything. Like when you at a show that I'm on, you can say whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. Like when I'm out there being a bad guy, I want you to say these things. I want you to call me every negative thing you can. You can hit me with the words that you're not supposed to say anymore. I'm cool with it. You can do it. You can do it, you know what I'm saying? Because like I know it's a stage, and it's like you're not gonna say anything that's gonna make me want to like watch where you're going and follow you outside. I might say some stuff that make you want to follow me.
But that's your job.
Yes, this is your job. It's all part of the show, baby.
Exactly. You paid your money. I'm gonna give you entertainment. You know.
I love being that person back in the background watching it all. That's my favorite part because I know what's going on both ends. I'm like, oh man, this is insane.
Yeah.
So, geez, you the shirt you're wearing, NWA, big pay-per-view coming up, August 27th, August 28th, NWA 74.
A weekend.
Yes. The card is already the stuff that is announced is incredible. The throwbacks, Tommy Rich, I saw was announced to be there. It's just this is huge for the NWA. What is it like just being a part of this kind of company with this much history? You know what I mean? That the NWA has.
Like, how surreal is it to say that you work for the NWA?
Yeah.
It's crazy, man, because when I was coming up, man, the two places that I always loved was New Japan and the NWA, man. Like, obviously, when I was a kid, I loved WWF. But then when I started watching NWA, it was different. You know what I'm saying? Because WWF was like cartoonish or whatever. NWA looked and it felt real. It looked like grown adults out there really fighting, you know, like and the characters, the emotion that was brought, like all of that stuff, I loved it. And when I got the opportunity to come in, I couldn't believe it. And then, you know, I came in and from the jump, I was given every opportunity to shine. And I think it's working, you know what I'm saying? So it's a perfect fit. Because like for the longest time, like, yeah, I did a lot of cool stuff on the indies, but to me, I felt like being in a company that had a TV presence, that's what was missing. That's what I needed. And like I would pretty much put it out there. That's what I want. And a lot of times when I like call out like companies and stuff like that, like people would frown on it. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy because it's like it depends, like depending on who the person is that's calling out wrestlers or calling out companies, like sometimes they'll be like, oh yeah, that's great, that's what you want to do. But when it's somebody like myself, it's like, oh brother, that's unprofessional. You look like you're begging. That's not how you get business done. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, like it's a social media platform. You're supposed to engage with fans. You're supposed to make it interesting. You know what I'm saying? So when I was presented with the opportunity to come into NWA, man, I was like, man, like all these companies that have TV, it's crazy. I've always loved NWA. Now I'm getting an opportunity to go into the company that I idolized as a child, and that it's definitely, I love it. I love every part of it, man.
How important is it to keep the essence of NWA, like the true to itself? Like, because when I think of NWA, I think of the same thing. I'm thinking of the small, in your face, like audience, and the two people just beating the living hell out of each other. Like,
very important.
Like, is that all the way up the ladder? Like, important to everybody?
It's important to everybody because, like, just like you said, man, like when you think NWA, you think traditional, you think characters, you think you think the interviews at the podium, you see the stories, you see the emotion, you think about back in the day when the Horseman was rolling on people in the parking lot, stuff like that, stuff that was like realistic. You know what I'm saying? That and that's everybody's goal in the locker room. You know what I mean? Is to keep that NWA style wrestling. You know what I'm saying? You're not really going to see a whole lot of like just fast pace that leads to nothing. You're going to see that. You're going to see all different types of styles, but for the most part, it's going to be that NWA old school style. You know what I'm saying? And it works. You know what I'm saying? Like we have our lane and we go for it. You know.
I think the only other people that were in that lane, and it's not the same exactly, but I think Ring of Honor was kind of in that same lane. But I think they took a U-turn or they got off the exit, but I don't think they're in that lane anymore. Like
I agree.
So I think you guys pretty much are driving a road that not a lot of people are going on. Other companies, I mean. So fans, and I know everybody has their taste of everything, but I feel like it can make its way because my dad loved. That's who got me in the NWA was my dad. That's the only reason I knew about it. So I think like that older school mentality immediately because they're familiar with the name, and I think it'll be like that trickle down effect where you'll just slowly pick up like younger and younger generations.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely.
And not only that, I think with the younger generations, you have the names that were all over the place. You have a Matt Cardona who has come in and drug some of those WWE fans who may have been interested in him and wanted to see him go bigger. And he's been all over GCW, NWA. He's been all over the place. So you have like that. Tyrus is another one, former WWE guy who you can, he was misused in a stupid gimmick in WWE, but now he is that monster who you have his back. He is the television champion, and you get to see
a main title shot too, doesn't he?
Yeah. So you get to see that. You get to see them grow. You get actually managing Rodney Mack in your match tomorrow night. You have Aaron Stevens, who used to be in WWE as Damian Sandow. You have these guys that will pull some of those
WWE. Did you say Aldis yet?
I did not say Nick Aldis. Like Magnus from TNA. Like you have all these guys to transplant, and Joe Galley was on a couple weeks ago, and he even said it, that island of misfit toys where all these people who maybe outcast, who maybe haven't got the shot yet, who are still trying to get up, everyone gets thrown together.
With a common goal.
Yes, exactly. And then the legacy and tradition with those three letters, NWA, in the studio wrestling, it's that perfect mixture of this company that I feel is going to keep growing, but still stay true to that initial plan.
Because you got people that are hungry, and now you got people that are hungry won't slow down. They'll just keep going. They want the best. They want a chip on your shoulder and hungry at the same time.
Yep.
That's like the perfect recipe for success. Because then you got a lot of people that want it. And when people get to the top, they get complacent. That's when you see a little bit of like, all right, maybe this isn't for me. But people that are hungry and continue to want to be better, that's gonna withstand.
Exactly. And like I said earlier, like you gotta have that competitive spirit. So it's like everybody there, we're all competitive, but not to the detriment of anybody else. Like we go out there and everybody's mentality is to further the NWA, but also to kill it in all of our segments, all of our matches, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like guys will go out there and they'll kill it and they'll come to the back like, yeah, you saw that, do better than that. But it's in a positive light. It's to hype each other up to go out there and continue to kill it out there. You know what I'm saying? And that's great. And you got like a lot of guys there. A lot of guys that been to WWE, they've been to the top of the mountain. And for whatever reason, you know what I'm saying, they weren't given like more opportunity. So you have a lot of guys that been through a lot. And you have a lot of pissed off guys, a lot of guys and girls with chips on their shoulder. You know what I'm saying? And like this is all of our lane to really like further that NWA brand. And man, it's like it's a great locker room to be in because there's no BS. You know what I'm saying? There's no clicks. You know what I'm saying? You don't see that a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody is there with the same goal, and it's great to be around.
It's almost like a real sports locker room. Like you hype each other up. Like I remember seeing it. Like you'll see it. Like guys will come in, everyone will be jumping and shit. That's what I envision that locker room. That's how I want to envision.
The other thing we wanted to talk about is Catalyst Wrestling, who you said that you'll be wrestling for. Now, Catalyst Wrestling, I've seen a couple of their cards, never really been able to see it live. You want to talk about Catalyst Wrestling? And tell the people who haven't seen it.
New York, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Catalyst Wrestling. It's a good company, man. If you haven't seen it, I definitely say you should check more of their stuff out. I'm in the group Tri-State Saints. It's me, Joker, and Steve Mack. Like we're currently the tag team champions. You know what I'm saying? I'd say we're the best act there. You know, Darius Carter is Catalyst champion. He would say he's the best act there. And it's a locker room, again, full of people that are hungry, full of people that had chips on their shoulders, full of people that can go out there and be believable in the ring, full of people that can cut promos. You know, the shows are great. You know what I'm saying? So our next show is September 18th in Brooklyn, New York. It's Tri-State Saints versus the main event and Pretty Peter Avalon. Looking forward to that. The last show we had, me and Joker, we wrestled the main event. We beat the hell out of them, you know. So they felt the need to go recruit Pretty Peter, and Pretty Peter, AEW fame. He's gonna come in. I'm gonna kick Peter's ass. Send him back to AEW. So that
he ain't gonna be pretty no more.
Not anymore. Not anymore. He's gonna go back to AEW and let them know what Jeez did to him. Let them know what Monster Mac and Joker did to him. You know, and then maybe some more of those AEW cats to come through, and the Tri-State Saints can, you know what I'm saying, kick their ass too. You know, because that's what we do.
I wanted to touch on something that you're saying, and it's 2 points that we've already touched on. I wanted to correlate chip on your shoulder and being difficult to work with, like getting that reputation to be difficult. Do you think that having the chip, like visibly, like on your face and on your shoulder, does that label you as difficult? Do you think they are one and the same, or do they have nothing to do with each other?
No, I think when you have a chip on your shoulder, like I think weak people would associate that with being difficult. People that aren't weak, they would understand. And there's a lot of weak people in wrestling. So again, like if you're the type, like see, like for the longest time, like the whole vibe of pro wrestling is just be happy to be there. I'm happy to be there, brother. You know what I'm saying? Don't ask any questions. Do what you're told. Even if you don't like it, just do as you're told. Don't ask any questions. You know what I'm saying? But when you're somebody that, number one, commands respect, because for real, I'm a man first, wrestler second. So if I'm being professional and I'm treating you with respect, I expect the same thing. I'm not going to take anything less, you know? And also, like, there's a lot of bookers, a lot of promoters on the indies anyways, where like they frown on guys that are strong-minded, because the strong-minded guys are going to get the people in the locker room are going to have their back. And promoters, they don't like that. They feel like they lose their power. And it doesn't even have to be that way. There, like I said, there's a lot of weak people in wrestling. So when you speak your mind, when you stick up for yourself and the boys, it's frowned upon. And going back to having a chip on your shoulder is just like, in my view, is that you know what you bring to the table and you're going to do it. Like you're happy to be there, but you don't have that happy to be there, not going to ask any questions. Like you're happy to be there and you want to further the product, but as part of doing that, you ask questions. You know what I mean? You might go to the promoter and be like, hey, what do you think of this? Can we do this? That type of stuff. Or, you know what I'm saying, you know what you're doing, so you go out there and maybe you do something that like if you're told not to do something, don't do it. But if you're out there and you're not told to not do something, just go out there and do it. Like my philosophy is ask for forgiveness instead of asking for permission. You know what I'm saying? Because you could ask promoter, hey, what do you think about do this? You're opening it up for him to say no. And then you'll go out there and you'll want to do something, you won't do it. Then later on, somebody else will do it without asking, and it works. You could be that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd rather be that guy. Just go out there. I know what I'm doing, so I'm not gonna put the company in jeopardy. I'm not going to go out there and do something that's going to get you a lawsuit or get the company canceled. But I know what I'm doing. Let me go out there and be creative. So like again, just to summarize it, man. Having a chip on your shoulder is not the same thing as being difficult. Only weak people think that.
I kind of figured as much, but I wanted to get a little bit more elaboration on it. Like I get the fact like being difficult is something completely different. Like being difficult is just being a pain in the ass to deal with. Like someone who just never is on time, always late for matches, and
refusing to do jobs.
Yeah, refuses.
Yeah,
like Hogan.
Yeah, exactly.
And then like a lot of times like people will throw, oh, he's difficult, right? So like they'll just leave it at that. So the assumption is, oh, that he must be he must not want to lose. You know what I'm saying? This or that. But a lot of times these indie promoters, when they say somebody is difficult, it just means that they want to get paid to perform because they're used to guys just coming in, working for free or working for cheap. You know what I mean? So they'll just say, oh, he's difficult. And so, difficult can mean a lot of things. Mm-hmm. So when somebody said, if I'm reaching out to a promoter and I want to, and I want, let's say, all right, cool. I got my guy, Larry. He wants to work here. You familiar with Larry? Yeah, but he's difficult. You know what I'm saying? I would be the one, like, what do you mean? How is he difficult? To force that person to tell me how.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because most of the time it's just BS. They're just saying they're difficult. They don't want to use the person.
Yeah.
If you don't want to use the person, just say it. Like a lot of wrestlers, right? Like a lot of wrestlers will respect it if you just tell us why, right? You know what I'm saying? If it's well, we don't want to use you, we don't think you fit. That's cool. We can handle that. Because again, we signed up for this. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be a lot of closed doors. If somebody don't want to use, just say it. And another thing that a lot of wrestlers hate is when you reach out to a company and you just leave the person on read. You know what I mean? Like you're in a position to help somebody, right? You're in a position, you're the boss of a company, right? And you're going to get a lot of people that want to work for you. You're in that position to say yes or no. If people are contacting you and you ignore them or you BS them, you shouldn't be in that role because you're not a man. If you're in a position to help further people's careers, you're in that position for a reason. So it's on you to be honest with the people. Like respond to those emails. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to use somebody, tell them. Don't just ignore them and have them wondering. That's BS. And like people that have that position where you're leaving people on read and you refuse to communicate, or like when you see them in person, it's hey brother. But then when they contact you, even if you tell them to contact you and you ignore them, you're not a man.
All right. I have a question because it's now in my mind now, and I wanted to ask it earlier. You could defer, but do you think wrestling should be unionized?
That's kind of tough.
Yeah,
and it's tough because wrestling is like it's a me situation. So I think that there's going to be more guys and girls that don't want to join together for a common bond because they only care about them. You know what I'm saying? It goes back to like say like I'll give you an example. A lot of times like if you have a reputation where we're going back to the difficult thing, right? So if you have a reputation that you're difficult, the people that you think are your friends, like they'll like separate themselves from you because they don't want to be associated with you because they might get heat. You know what I'm saying? So it's same with unions. Like if there's like a bunch of people that wanted to be unionized, there's gonna be more people over here like, nah, fuck them. Nah, it's gonna mess up us. You know what I mean? So I don't think it'll ever happen.
I don't think it'll ever happen either. But imagine this: it would be the easiest thing to structure. The only problem is people wouldn't want to hear it. Like you have a new student that is just like having one or two matches, obviously an apprentice. So they'd make a certain rate, and that would be their guaranteed rate. Now, I know why that's not going to work, because if they're not getting paid to begin with, why the hell are we going to pay them now? So, right. And then you got a vet like yourself, like you come in, you're a journeyman. You're making top dollar.
Right.
No matter what.
Yeah. It'll never happen. You know what I'm saying?
It won't.
It's
I just said why it all comes down to money.
Yeah, it's going to be like a that's going to be like a topic that'll always be brought up, and it's never going to happen. You know.
The funny thing is, I ever bring this up?
Not
I
really.
try and stay so far. I was you're talking to me about how like the boys and how everything like I feel like you would be like I envision you as like a steward, like you got everyone's back, like you would be like a foreman, like you got all your guys back, and you go to the head honcho and be like, yo, look, guys are busting their ass. They need more. They need more compensation. I feel like that's how you're talking though.
Yeah, because look, bro, we're all adults, man. We're all men and women. You know what I'm saying? So like, and that's the thing. Like, everybody runs from heat. There's no such thing because like we're all adults. So if you have a problem with somebody, be an adult and talk it out. Because like the majority of the time, the so-called heat is because the two people that have the heat weren't adult enough to just talk it out. A lot of times it's like I'll give you an example at CZW, right? CZW was like it was a very toxic environment. And it wasn't the boys, it was the person that owns it. You know what I mean? Like the person that owns it, they would put a whole lot of BS out there, like this guy is talking about this guy, this guy's talking about this guy. You know what I'm saying? And then guys would hate each other in there, and they didn't really know why. They would just hear things, you know what I'm saying? Like me and this one other person, a lot of people, like we didn't get along, but it was because I was hearing he was saying stuff about me. He was hearing I was saying stuff about him. But me and him, we didn't go up to each other and talk it out, right? So like my view on him was fuck him, and his view on me was fuck him. So then eventually we talked it out, you know what I'm saying? And we realized it wasn't like I wasn't saying nonsense about him and he wasn't talking about me. It was people in the locker room saying this and that. It was like high school. People wanted to see us fight because we have similar personalities, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, let's see them fight, you know what I'm saying? But we talked it out and we realized it was just BS. You know what I mean? That happens. And it shouldn't, but like pro wrestling, a lot of times, it's like high school, man, you know? It's crazy.
I do want to touch on, I don't want to go past it, and for anyone who hasn't seen it, is church tax. Now, explain what church tax is, because I just showed Joe before we got on here, and it's intriguing. It's very short so far because there are only 2 episodes.
Yeah, it's not long enough for me to gauge yet. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I'm at the point of what the hell's going on.
From the second it turns on, it did hook me. Yeah, it hooks you right away because you want to know what is going on.
Why the hell has he got a mask on? He's got a gun.
Yes.
That was
hey, man. You already answered, but that's what I wanted. You said it hooked you. You gotta keep watching, baby.
Yeah.
You gotta keep watching. That's
no, I believe us. We're going to definitely spread it.
Absolutely.
Because I love the outside stuff just as much as I love the in-ring stuff. Sometimes I love the outside stuff a lot more than the in-ring stuff.
Yes.
Like people that will take, and that's what I love social media about. I hate it for everything else, but I love the people that will be like, all right, I'm going to use this to my advantage, like how it's supposed to be used, and go out on social media and do like crazy shit, like crazy. Just try it out. If it works, it works. Yeah. This is your blank fucking slate.
Exactly, man. Like it's an art, man. We create stuff. So, and again, that's the fun part. And that's the fun part about like being able to portray characters. You know what I'm saying? This is at the end of the day, man. This is a form of entertainment, and like we got all types of like platforms to like express ourselves. So like social media is the place to do it. You know, like you never know what's going to pop off, and you know what I'm saying. So from the looks of things, church tax is definitely going to keep popping off, man.
That's the thing. I want
good on our hands.
I want something to look at and be like, well, what the fuck is this? And then I'm just like, I don't know what it is, but I'm going to continue to watch it. Like I love like those vignettes and shit that people do like that. Like Bray Wyatt does great ones too. Like he'll be like, you'll just sit there and watch it, be like, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I have to watch it now. And I don't know what's going on, and that's what I love. Like I don't want to know what's going on. That's the whole point of watching wrestling.
Yeah, and I think another cool thing about it is it's like, so like you guys know all of us because we're all in the wrestling bubble. So when any of us step out of the wrestling bubble and do something that's like
cinematic,
that's not wrestling, it's just like, it's just cinematic. It's like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? It's like, man, cool. This is interesting. Yeah.
And not only that, I think that little minute 17, minute and 30, That
good
is,
window.
yes, it's a very good window because you know how short attention span wrestling fans have,
or anybody in
or
general.
anyone, period. But it's just that little bit, and just as you're getting into it, and just as you're leaning in to watch it, it's over. And it says to be continued.
Exactly.
God damn it! Like I wanted,
Yeah.
I wanted to keep going. So it is.
Yeah.
And where can people find it? That way they know and they can look at it and keep up with it.
Man, you can find it on social media. You can find it on my Twitter, my Instagram. That's Jeez215. You can find it on my man Coltrane. Coltrane, that's my guy that does all of my cinematography, man. This dude is a genius, bro. We were putting out like content like throughout the whole pandemic where we just called it visual storytelling. It was sort of just like videos. It was just like us filming stuff, you know what I'm saying, putting it out there just to music. And you know what I'm saying? And it was another situation where it's like we're in the wrestling bubble, but we want to create some stuff that's just cool. You know what I'm saying? You can find it. You can find it all over social media, man. And like Church Tax is it's the screenwriting debut of Amber Rodriguez, man. I mean, I don't know how familiar you guys are with Amber, but she's right now she's contracted with Wild Women's of Wrestling. You know what I'm saying? She's very talented, man. She's like as far as promos go, man, she's the female G's. If I can said it myself, you know what I'm saying? Because like her, I would put her promos up there with anybody that's out there, men and women. You know what I'm saying? And like she's another one that's like in the wrestling bubble, but also outside of it, she's very talented too. And again, my man Coltrane, man, like that dude is a genius, man. Like he makes like he puts all of the stuff that I do, he puts it over the top, man. You know. So like it's a really good team that we got going. You know, we just want to keep things going.
So before we let you go, if you want to plug, obviously your merch that me and Joe are wearing, Church's Money, and of course in G's We Trust. So where can people find this good merch?
Yes, sir, man. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate my guys right here. Got on my t-shirts, you know what I'm saying? Yo, just my merch, as far as my merch go, you can hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, you know what I'm saying? All of my social media stuff is the same, Jeez215. Just send me a message, man. Like, let me know what merch you're interested in. We'll just take it from there. You know what I'm saying? And we'll take care of you.
And if you're going to see him at a show, I'm sure he'll be locked and stocked.
That's where we got ours.
And ready to go.
Yeah.
I bought the last one of these, and it just so happened to be my size. So he might not have any more as Jeez We Trust. I might have got the last one.
Appreciate you. Appreciate that, man. I mean, yeah, definitely. You can see me at shows. You know what I'm saying? We got NWA coming up August 27th and 28th at the Chase in St. Louis. Then we got TV tapings from the 29th through the 31st in Nashville, Tennessee. Then, you know what I'm saying? I got my schedule on my Twitter, Jeez215. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of good stuff coming up. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate everybody for showing support. Keep the support coming. Keep the hatred coming. Keep the negative comments coming because we love it, baby. That's how we stay fired up when we hear the negativity. We love it. We signed up for it, so keep bringing the negativity. We love it.
Yeah, how is the Midwest crowd compared to all the other crowds that you've seen? Like, how is a Midwest crowd different from a Northeast crowd?
Northeast crowd, I say this, Northeast crowd, the potential of things getting violent is more so in the Northeast. Like it's like everywhere else, like you can say some stuff in these other crowds where if you say it on the East Coast, they've heard it before. So you won't get as big a reaction. But everywhere else you say it, they're like, oh God, did he just say that? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They're like, Helen, cover the kids here. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's just a Sunday dinner for us in the Northeast.
Hey, but the whole thing is, man, to go out there and read the crowd. You're like, you can hit them with something light just to see where the reaction is at, and then you decide whether you want to like just like step to the line and not cross it, or you just say fuck it and just jump over it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, geez,
jump over as many lines as you want.
That's right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, man, in a wrestling world where guys are just going to like be nice and polite to each other, I'm going to be that guy that's going to step across the line. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this for a while. I'm smart. I'm not going to get canceled. You know what I'm saying? I know what to say, when to say it. And if I do say something that's cancelable, is that a word? Cancelable? It is.
I think so. It is today.
Hashtag cancelable. You know what I'm saying?
And we got a title for the show.
Yes, we do.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly. I'm sorry. Don't cancel me. Hey, I apologize. Lo siento. I'm sorry. Don't cancel me. You know what I'm saying? But it's all entertainment. We all about giving people their money's worth, you know? So.
Absolutely.
Yes. Jeez, thank you so much for taking the time. Thanks for talking to us.
Yeah, this is awesome.
We cannot wait to see you versus Rodney Mack on NWA Power. Hopefully we'll get the show out tomorrow and people can listen to it before. But if not, tomorrow's on YouTube. Or no, tomorrow's on Fight. Friday is on YouTube. So catch that match there. And of course, like you said, NWA 74, August 27th and 28th. Geez, thanks again. And we really appreciate it.
And thanks for having me, man. I appreciate you guys extending the opportunity to come out here, tell my story, and talk. You know what I'm saying? I love talking, man. There's times where I never shut up. You know what I'm saying?
That's okay. And
that's what the point of this show is.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
And
if you don't talk, that means we got to do the talking.
Yeah, that means we got to do a lot of work. And it's easier when you could just come on and talk and we just listen.
Cool, man. Thanks again, guys. I'll come back on anytime y'all want, man. I appreciate y'all.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you. Thank you.